Good morning, everybody, or I should actually say good afternoon. I always say good morning, and it's midday, so it's good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my Karma Thought of the Day, day 17, Wednesday. So just to let you know who I am, I'm Amanda from Karma Thoughts. I'm a solution-focused hypnotherapist and a mindset coach coming on every day in this 4-week lockdown, giving you hints and tips and strategies to help you cope a little bit better moving forward. So you come out of this feeling in a better mind state than you went in, or mindset than when you went in. So what I'd like to talk to you about today is adapting to change. So if we had been told 8 months ago, it's the 25th of November today, and if we'd been told on the 23rd of March, so nearly 8 months ago, that we would still be working from home or furloughed, and this would have carried on for this long, we would have been absolutely terrified. I know when I have another job I do part-time, and we were sent home on about the 20th of March, and it was said, this is probably going until about June. And I remember feeling almost physically sick, thinking, how are we going to manage? How is this going to work until June? How is this going to happen? And now, 8 months on, we've all adapted in different ways. I know it's been very hard for lots and lots of people, and that's why I'm doing this. But if you think of how much you've adapted if we'd known too much too soon, it would have been terrifying. But because it was a little bit, just a few weeks at a time, and then it was reviewed and a few weeks more, we were able to cope a lot better with it. And as the restrictions lifted, and then were imposed again and lifted, etc. And now we've got the light at the end of the tunnel, that the vaccine is out there, and hopefully in the spring, early summer, things can, you can almost imagine them returning to normal, but we've still got a way to go. We've got the restrictions lifting for Christmas. I still think we need to be really careful over Christmas. The virus hasn't gone away. The virus doesn't know it's Christmas and it won't do anything. And then we're going to carry this on until March, really, until the vaccine comes out. So it's just taking it in bite-sized pieces. That's what I want to think about today, taking it one day at a time. We don't need to look too far into the future, because if we'd done that back in March, it would have been terrifying. If we'd known this was going on for like a year, we wouldn't have been able to handle it. But a little bit at a time made it more manageable. There's an analogy I want to give you for this, which is... and it's about an experiment with a frog. So there are two frogs. There's a frog sitting out on a bench by a pot of boiling water. And when that frog is put into the pot of boiling water, because it's such a shock to the system and it's going to be boiled alive, it jumps straight back out of the pot. It can't cope with a sudden change in temperature. There's the second frog sitting by another pot of water, which is at room temperature. And the frog is put into that pot of water, and then the heat is slowly turned up, gradually, bit by bit by bit, and the frog doesn't notice the change, but it's so gradual it doesn't know the water is getting hotter and hotter and hotter until it gets really hot, and then it will probably jump back out again. And that's how we need to adapt. We don't need to feel that we're being thrown into something too quickly, just taking things in bite-sized chunks, taking it one day at a time, not thinking too far ahead. And also remembering, and I really want you to think how well you've adapted. If you look back to how this was in March and how you are now, and how things have become normal, the whole saying is, the new normal. Things have become a bit more normal to us with all of this. We are coping, we're adapting. And it's in moments of crisis that we really realise how strong we are. If someone had told us various scenarios that might befall us, and sort of predict in the future, not necessarily with lockdown, I'm thinking about other things, we'd probably think, I wouldn't be able to cope with that. I don't know what I'd do. That would be my worst nightmare. What would I do? When we find ourselves in that situation, it's amazing how strong we become, how much better we are at coping than we ever thought we would be able to do. And also, it makes us think outside the box, and it also pushes us out of our comfort zone. It sometimes makes us do things that we never dreamed possible. And when we look back on it, we realise how far we've come. And sometimes there is a chance when you look back and you think, actually, I'm quite pleased I was put in that position, because it made me do things I would never have done before. People with businesses are maybe thinking outside the box, how they're going to rejig their business, what can they do in the future. People who are suddenly working from home are thinking, I want to work from home all the time. And it's before that would have been a really weird suggestion, but there's so many people thinking, I like working from home, and we've made it workable and doable, something that would have been really quite far-fetched a year ago is the norm. So just think that how well you are adapting. Again, this is all positives. It's thinking what you have done rather than thinking about what's been taken away from you and what you can't do. Think about what you can do and what you have done and what you have achieved. You've achieved a lot more than you think you have. And this is to take forward in any other areas of crisis in your life. When things happen that are unexpected, take it one day at a time, chunk it right down, take it one day at a time. Don't think too far ahead. I know it's hard because we immediately fast forward to the future and think, what is this going to really mean to us? But it's like we can only control today. We can only actually control this moment. So bring it right back to the present moment. It goes back to my talk about being mindful, really. Taking it back to today and what you can do today and taking control of that. And just taking on board, as I was saying, what you have achieved, how well you have adapted to this. You know, when the second lockdown came, we were used to working from home. We understood the word furlough. We knew what all of this meant. And the fact, again, that children are being at school now made it slightly better. So just think, there were lots of changes. Someone's just walked in my room. Lots of changes that happened. We've adapted to them and we will keep doing that. And we are more capable. You are more capable than you ever thought possible. So that's my karma thought of the day for today. I will leave you with that. And if, again, any comments you want to make, please put them in the comment box. And please share with this. I'll be doing this for another, until the end of the lockdown, till about the 2nd of December, giving you a little tip every day. So if you think this will help somebody moving forward, just to make them feel that they are doing the right thing, or if they need more help, I'm here to help them. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care until then. Goodbye.